all the women in Abeokuta to the palace, which is a taboo, you cannot see it. Here is a picture of Funmilayo shortly before her death. This was after she was pushed from the first floor in Fela's house in Kalakuta in Lagos. All he took from his father was 3 generations of music, because music has always been in this family. But the activism, strictly mommy.
I want to present to you the guy whose music revitalizes the hits of yesteryears. I'm talking about the chief priest, the black president, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Here he comes.
The legendary Fela Anikulapo Kuti, whose name echoes through time, has not just the pioneer of Afrobeat, but the voice of a generation.
When you're king of African music, you are the king, because music is the king of all professions.
Fela was more than just a musician. It was a movement, a revolution, and a fearless symbol of resistance, whose legacy still inspires the world today. Through his music, he spoke truth that many were too afraid to utter.
My main preoccupation right now is what is making Africans retrogress.
As a man who had the love of his continent and nation at heart, he considers his music to be the greatest tool, weapon, and voice to speak up for the people.
Music is a small part of it, but at the same time, I consider music to be effective like a weapon to inform people.
Despite his multiple arrests, beatings, and destruction of his commune and Kalakuta Republic, he still continues to use music as resistance. And in this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into the life and history of Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Not just the legend we know him as, but the man behind the music. We'll explore his family background, his early upbringing, and the influences that shaped him. Most importantly, we'll look closely at the house and city where he grew up, and how that environment played a major role in molding his personality, his worldview, and ultimately his music, and his greatest influence, which happened to be his mother. You should stick around, and if this is your first time, I'll kind of like that you hit the subscribe and like button. So now, let's jump into the video.
What's up, guys? We're at the Kuti Heritage Museum here. This is where Fela lived. He grew up here before he actually traveled and started doing music here. So we're gonna be exploring this place and seeing the generations of the Fela Ransome-Kuti family. This was the house the father lived. Basically all his family all lived in this place. And we're gonna be going on a tour in this beautiful touristic sites here. So yeah, let's get it, guys.
The very first two parts who stepped into the house was the biography section, where we were introduced to the history and remarkable journey of Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, which happened to be Fela's mother, who actually happened to be part of people that negotiated Nigeria's constitution.
And negotiated Nigeria's constitution in 1946, but only thing you hear about her is the first woman to drive a car. I don't know whether it's deliberate. She gave birth to 4 children, Beko, Olikoye, Fela, and Dolu. Her children, Beko, Olikoye, would go on to play important roles in education, healthcare, and activism. She was a simple woman. It is because these people, they were pathfinders in various fields. That's why she is actually the firstborn and she was the last to die. This is Israel. This is Fela's father. He's a second generation minister. That is his father, JJ, was also a minister. He was an Anglican minister, a teacher, and a musician, just like his father. He was head boy in Abeokuta Grammar School and later became the first black principal in that same school. He was the pioneer president of the Nigerian Union of Teachers from 1931 till shortly before his death, and the Kuti Hall in University of Ibadan is named in his memory. So here's a picture of the family as at the time they were living here. This is Funmilayo, the Reverend, Dolu, Olikoye, Fela, and Beko. You can see in a stubborn child since Funmilayo and Israel got married on 20th of January 1925. That is over 100 years now. And the children, this is the birth and death dates of the children, with the firstborn being the last to pass on. Yes, 2nd of August.
Who was that
That's 26, 27 years or something. 28, Imagine.
Music has always been in the bloodline of the Kutis, starting from their grandfather, Pa Josiah GC, who happened to be the first man to release a recorded album, and Fela's father also, who was a clergyman and wrote a lot of hymns and Abeokuta songs.
Here we have a picture of Israel and his father when they were both serving ministers in the Anglican Communion. Their love for music actually made them compose so many songs as well as translate so many English hymns into Yoruba. But this is the most famous of their works. That is the Egba anthem. It was originally Abeokuta Grammar School's anthem, but later the Alake adopted it as the Egba anthem. Wọ́n dúró lórí Olúmọ, máa yọ̀ lórúkọ Ẹ̀gbá o. Èmi ọmọ Lísàbí, máa yọ̀ lórí Olúmọ, máa yọ̀ lórí Olúmọ. That's Abeokuta's anthem, Ẹ̀gbá anthem. This is the Abeokuta Grammar School original building. It's actually still there. It is now a school of theology at Idiaba. That is the permanent site now. This is where Abeokuta Grammar School originated from. It was actually missionary. That is why now that place is the school of theology. The missionaries have collected it back. Notable among the people that went there during that set was Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka is actually a cousin to this family. Funmilayo's sister is his mom. He went to Abeokuta Grammar School during this period also, as well as Adeshiju Adeda, the former Oni. This building, you can see it is like in halls. A lot of students from outside Abeokuta stayed with the headmaster at the time because Abeokuta Grammar School was prestigious and a lot of people sent their children here from outside Abeokuta. So majority they stayed with the principal. That's why it's like hostels. Their family actually stays upstairs. Here is a picture of like what I was saying. The students that were staying with him when he was the principal of Abeokuta Grammar School. This is a picture of him and Funmilayo and the students that were living here at the time. And here is him and his staff. This was the former principal before he took over. This is who he took over from. Here we have Funmilayo receiving an honorary doctorate in law from University of Ibadan, 1968. Here we have more pictures of the family. She being the activist, you have more pictures of him, very secluded guy. He doesn't make too much noise. So if he's not in school, he's in church. If he's not in church, he's at home. After that, he don't travel with that. But you see her in the market, and she has an opinion to give there.
Fela took his activism and fearlessness from her.
Here we have newspaper excerpts of their times and life. To this side we have concerning Israel, and to this side we have concerning Funmilayo. Let's start here. And this is Israel and his father, JJ. Different years, different times. During the riots, protester ministers defend Reverend Kuti. Christian leaders are not responsible for Abeokuta agitation because like they were blaming him for not being able to control his wife. The account of the Alake that was deposed, they went to interview the Alake at the time, Sir Ladipo Ademola. He abdicated, he left his throne. He left his throne when women protested for over 9 to 12 days. On the last day before he abdicated, they actually came out naked. All the women in Abeokuta to the palace, which is a taboo, you cannot see it. Here is a picture of Funmilayo shortly before her death. This was after she was pushed from the first floor in Fela's house in Kalakuta in Lagos. And no soldiers pushed her from the first floor. They came to arrest Fela or to injure Fela. They couldn't find him. And she was blocking them, so they pushed her out of the middle of the first floor. I think she was 78 at the time, yeah. She broke her leg. The fact that she did not die, from like up here, pushed outside the window. Pastor was the head of state at the time. And it was unknown soldiers that actually raided the house. Because that's what they said. They said that they wanted to do a federal burial for her, but the family said that until they can produce, they don't want, they don't need it, just keep it.
Can soldiers go out of their distance without being led by somebody?
So this is lucky story, see there, we see there. They want to tell me that they can't identify the people that were there.
After this event, Fela's mom, Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, never fully recovered and eventually died from these injuries in 1978. Fela inherited his fire from his mom. She was fearless, a woman who stood against colonial powers and oppressive governments.
Apart from this, she was put in jail more than she's always been arrested, just like Fela things, because she would never back down. And those people thought that by using power, she will break. Unfortunately, it just made her stronger. All he took from his parents, his father, was 3 generations of music, because music has always been in this family. And so that it took from the father's side, but the activism, strictly mom. So, like I said, the family actually stayed upstairs. Let's go upstairs to where the family actually stayed. So this is Funmi's study. This is where she sat to write all those letters that crazed the people. This is the Reverend's visiting area. This is where the Reverend receives guests. They do a Lishabi Day or Lishabi Week thing. So during that period, they award commendations to people posthumous majorly. Some are still alive, posthumous majorly, in remembrance of people that have served Abeokuta or Egba land. Josiah is Israel's father, Fela's grandfather, because of that song. So in 2023, he was made the hero of Lishabi by Adealake for the anthem. That is Israel's room. You can see Israel's room is very Now small mirror and small bed. Don't be shocked when you see people wearing this kind of thing in the next 5 years, because now soon now they do fashion. like I said, music has always been a part of this family. So don't be surprised that we have one of this. And this is Funmilayo's room. You can just, yes, the family living room. If you watched the film of Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, parts of it were shot here, particularly the dining setting. I think Israel took Funmilayo home to meet his dad. A lot of it was shot here. Like I said, I told you she didn't like Western things, so she was into alternative medicine, agumu, and things like that. Yeah, that's why we have all these jars here.
After exploring the main building where Pa Israel and Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti once lived, we moved on to the next building, which happened to be home to the second generation of the Kuti family.
Here we have the second generation, the 4 children. What do you mean by second generation? The 4 children that were given birth to in that house to Funmilayo. First generation was where we were. That is the husband and wife, Fela and his siblings. Now we are telling you the story of Fela, his siblings and the children. Dolu was the firstborn. She was a nurse. She worked in Lagos State Ministry of Health. She retired from Isla Maternity as a matron and moved here. She was the last person to pass on amongst the old children, yes. That's 2010.
And she's the first one?
Yes.
She was the last person to pass on?
Yes.
Look what you said.
They are all dead.
What?
All these people.
Sure.
He was the first to die, actually.
Fela?
Yes, he died in 1997.
What
So he died from AIDS. It was actually, the broadcast was done by him. He was the Minister of Health at the time. So they did the national broadcast that Fela died from AIDS. What happened to me is that I won't say he did not die from AIDS, but how did he get the AIDS is my own issue. One of his wives had it. Nobody there had it. There should have been an epidemic of AIDS.
Well, there's no other concubines.
That's what I'm saying now, that there should have been an epidemic of AIDS. You had just been released from incarceration. It wasn't up to a month or 2 months. He was sick in incarceration. They saw that he was probably going to die before they released him. You know it takes a lot for this person to become this person. Look the face, just the face. The menu, just the face. Funeral. A lot of arrests.
I can't go through scars and remain the same.
So that I don't one wife.
One woman gave birth to Yenny and Femi. That is her. Only 4 people or 5 people gave birth to children for him, and there are even spaces between them. None of those people that the 27 he married on the same day. I don't think.
Jesus Christ, what?
Marriage is just
Wives on a day. Yes. Everybody has a reason for whatever they do. It's you that it may be strange to you. He was going on tour, and all of these dancers and everything had different names. They were having visa issues. So we just said, okay, all of you, let's go and marry. They all became Kuti. This is the last born. He was also a medical doctor, but he stopped practicing after that incident when his mom was pushed from Fela's house because he also had a clinic in that compound that was burnt to the ground by unknown soldiers. After that, he faced the campaign for the defense of human rights, CDHR, with Ganifa Imi and the rest of them. That is his own legacy. He died on the 10th of February 2006. UNESCO made a series on women in African history, and Funmilayo was one of the women that they featured. It's basically her story in animation so that children can grasp it better.
This is the last car Fela Mom's drove while she was still alive here. Guys, come see. Actually, it's a Volvo. This car looks Asian, you guys can see. It's metallic, not like the normal car that they use now.
So yeah guys, that's the tour of the Kuti Heritage Museum. Tell me, what do you think about the history and family line of the Kuti families? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until I see you in the next video, keep winning.
Don't forget to subscribe.